and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we're going to be speaking about a topic that is obviously pertaining to us females, and that is our period. Okay, now I did say that I'm going to be speaking about so many different topics on this channel from now on, or just in general, so that I can try and reach as much as you as possible, of course. So this video is in regards to health, obviously. So I just want to bring to your attention, this particular video is not sponsored, but I want to bring to attention a campaign that I have just worked on with the NHS. The NHS is our national health service here in the UK, and they have just released an app. This is the NHS Go app, and basically is an app which you download either on the Google or Apple store, you know, the gadgets on the internet and stuff. But you download it onto your phone basically, and it's a huge directory of your local specialists such as GPs, local dietitians, places where you can get help on mental health issues, family planning, all that type of thing. It's all now on your phone. So many information. It gives you even diagnosis and symptoms, and you know, you can really find out quite a lot of things to do with health on that app. So I just wanted to bring you to your attention that particular campaign I am working on, so definitely check that out. Now for this video, I'm honestly blessed to have a range of women who watch my channel. From according to my Google Analytics, age 18 to 35 is my most watched by females, of course, out there. But I want to specifically speak to my younger sisters out there, and it's so nice to have the internet, honestly, these days, to literally go on and you can find information like this. I wish when I was starting my period, I can go online and kind of, you know, get information about periods in general, from kind of like a big sister angle. So hopefully this video will be useful for you. And of course, to my younger, sorry, not younger, a little bit older women, or even my age, even up to menopause, I don't know, hopefully you'll find this video useful, I don't know, but I'm just going to talk about periods in general. I got my period at the age of 12, which it might have seemed late, because typically if you are aged 8 at least, that's when you can start your period. Just to explain, if you are as that young and you're watching this video, a period is a monthly cycle that a woman has, and basically you have a bleed which will last for about 4, 5 up to 7 days, and it comes every 28 to 30 days. Every woman is different, perhaps yours is even 32 days, it depends. My personal period is pretty accurate, and it's every 28 days and lasts for 5 days. I think as I've gotten older, it's lasts for 7 days now. I don't know why, but that's just how it is, I guess. So just so you guys know that. To be honest with you, if you want to go even deeper, the reason why your period is there is to actually tell you that you're not pregnant. That's the whole reason. Each month we release eggs from our ovaries, and if the eggs are fertilized by sperm, which is obviously through sexual intercourse, then of course it can make a baby. So for my young girls out there, I don't want you to go and start doing this stuff, okay? Wait till you're of age, wait till you're in a great relationship, married and stuff. I personally believe in marriage, but definitely get to an age where, you know, you can do that legally. But for all the young girls out there, that's just the information I wanted to give you in regards to your period and why it's there. So my personal period story, I got my period at the age of 12, and as I said, that might actually be a little bit late, because there was a few people in my, you know, my class and my peer group that had already had their periods, and I thought, oh, where's mine, type of thing. Now, as a girl who has grown up with just girls, like my whole family is full of women, I've always known about periods, so of course I was reluctant to get mine as well. Like, when am I going to get my period? Especially when everyone else has got theirs. And you know, I've seen period bloods, you know, I've seen pads, I've seen all of that, because I've grown up in a household of girls, so I know all of that. I remember I was at school. Actually, let's flashback. The night before, I went to the toilet, okay, and there was like a streak of brown. Now that is called spotting. So if you ever spot brown spots in your underwear, it's most likely the very start up to your period. Even now, as a grown woman, I still get those spotting, because it's perhaps the first day saying, hey, and Flo's here in the building. But anyway, I saw the spotting, and you won't even guess what I thought it was. I thought it was skid marks. So yeah, I was like, this is what skid marks, it looks a bit much today, isn't it? So skid marks is just like a term for like you know, dirty knickers or whatever. I actually thought it was that, okay? I was a young girl, I didn't understand. I thought, okay, this can't be it. Now the next day, it was lunchtime when I went to the toilet, but this skid mark has gotten a little bit bigger, and it looks like blood this time, but like dry old blood, if I could say that. And I'm so sorry if this is TMI, but that's just how it went. And I remember I went home, and I showed my mum my knickers, and she was absolutely happy for me, you know. Oh my God, you've got your period, finally, you actually got it. I remember the night before as well, I did say, oh, I saw this in my knickers, and she also thought it was filth as well, so whatever. But yeah, I told her, she was happy, and then she definitely schooled me. I remember that like yesterday, she had a calendar for me, and she said every month, I should write down when it was, so then the next month I'll be prepared for it. And she also taught me that when just before, you know, I'm going to bath in the morning, I should prepare my knickers with my pad, so as soon as I get out of the bath, pull it on straight away. You know, I got a good schooling about that. So I want to hopefully reach out to you guys. If you haven't got like a big sis or even a mum to tell you these things, I'm hoping that this will help you guys, okay? So what do you use for your period? Now, I spotted a video by Ingrid Nielsen a while back, and it was talking about literally every single thing that you can use for your period in terms of, obviously, you know, pads and stuff like that. She also spoke about something called a menstrual cup. Because I've never seen one before or even heard of it, I'm not going to talk about it in this particular video, but I'm going to let you know what you can use for your period, okay? So I have pads here. I'm a pad person all the way. My best friend hates pads. She's a tampon girl. Write down below, team tampon or team pad. Come on, let us know what you guys do. I'm team pad all the way. I have worn a tampon twice in my life. Of my 28 years of living in this world, I've worn it twice. Once when I was on holiday in Ayia Napa, and very recently when I took my little boy swimming, I wanted to, it was the last day of my period, so I just wore it just in case. And apparently when you do wear tampons, you can go swimming and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm team pad, and this is a pad, and I'm very bougie, so I got Always, of course. And there's different types of pads, okay? There's so many different types of pads. There's different pads for different shapes. There's different pads for you know, for different flows. If you are a light bleeder, you can get something that's nice and thin. If you're a heavy bleeder, you can get something that's a little bit thick. There's also pads for nighttime, which is no difference, to be honest, than a thicker pad. That's all it is. Don't waste your money. But I don't even have a problem with wearing Tesco pads sometimes, just to have a pad. You know, you just got to do, it does the job, okay? So here I got two. This one is a slightly thinner one. Personally, my flow is, on the first day, is, I wouldn't say it's heavy, but it's quite you know, a good flow. And then by the time that it's like, let's say day 3, day 4, you know, it starts to, you know, die down. You don't get as much of a heavy flow. This particular pad is something that I particularly wear all the time. It basically has a sticky back. You stick it onto your underwear, you pull it on, and then of course there's these wings at the side that you just put behind. And there it goes, very simple and easy. Now you want to make sure that this blue part is right in the center, because that's where it's going to take the most of the liquid. I don't want to say blood, but yeah, that's it. And then of course to the back part as well. Sometimes blood can seep through to the back, so it's really good. If you're somebody, honestly, I'm going to tell you a trick. If you bleed and it always goes to the back, nothing wrong sometimes with getting another like pad just here so that it can go to the back part. Just make sure that you're wearing obviously a good jeans or, you know, control pants or something on top of it, so it can't like seep through maybe your leggings or whatever you're wearing, I don't know. So that's that. I also got here another pad which is a little bit thicker, the same thing. It has also the wings, sorry, a little bit thick. And yeah, the same concept on how you can put that on as well. And you know, there's different types of pads, as I said. Now secondly, you can use a tampon. I'm not into tampons, but I have worn one before. Basically it's like a thin instrument that goes into the vagina, and what you do is you take off, it normally comes with like a cap on it, and whilst you're pushing it out you can pull the cap out, and then the string will be left dangling. TMI, I know, but that's what happens because the string is going to be used then when you're changing to pull it out. And then of course I saw in Ingrid's video a menstrual cup. I have not got a clue what that is, but I'm going to leave her video below because it was super helpful on different methods of course, wearing your periods, or what to wear on your periods. So that is that. So dealing with your periods, and this is something that perhaps will help everyone now. I had a question on one of my recent videos saying that how she's 24 years old and she feels that her periods are a little bit irregular and short. Is it because of stress and anxiety? Most likely. I personally have a really decent flow, but I know when I'm stressed that my period perhaps is a lot lighter maybe, and yeah, it's maybe, I don't know, it's just a lot lighter in general. And when I relax myself, I perhaps will have quite, you know, a comfortable period. I'm someone that doesn't necessarily get affected with my moods as well when I'm on my period. I'm pretty much the same person, but it does affect your moods and your state of mind, and you know, your state in general can affect your periods. And for me, I just would say just be traditional in terms of care, you know. Take relaxing baths, or people don't like to bath on their period, that's another thing, but try to relax as much as possible. Whether it's through candlelight, nice scenery, doing things that you love, maybe some treats here, some chocolate, some cake. Everybody does it, it's not a problem at all, but I don't know if it is a myth for all or not, but apparently eating sweetie things does actually help you have even worse period pains. So that's something that you might need to look into also as well, or just be careful of. And I'm going to actually be researching myths about periods, and I might do a video about that. So let's see how much myths I can gather up and talk about. And of course, in terms of cramping, because you would experience cramping, painkillers is your best friends, hot water bottles, and even, you know, positioning yourself where you're kind of, you know, your legs tucked up close to your stomach really diminishes the pain as well. I do have period pains, but it's not as severe as some people have some bad period pains that they can't walk type of period pains, and that's never a nice thing. So definitely, again, getting comfortable and feeling good and taking painkillers and eating regularly as well, drinking water as well is so useful to refresh your system in general. So, you know, your general care and well-being is definitely useful. Other things in terms of activity when you're on your period, apparently, you know, that's another myth, you know, don't swim when you're on your period. Apparently you can use tampons, and, you know, when the tampon's up there, it absorbs the liquid. So it's not going to transfer into the water. So that might be the same thing as well with bathing. I wouldn't imagine it if you wore a tampon. But then again, you want to be cleaning yourself whilst you're bathing. So it's a bit of a mishmash. But there you go. Physical activity as well. I've heard a lot of women feel that they're relieved from when they go to the gym or they walk. Personally, I'm lazy, so I won't be doing things like that. But if you're somebody who's into, you know, keeping active, that's another thing as well you can do. Just kind of you know, release any tension when you're on your period. Now, we just briefly spoke about intercourse. Personally, for hygiene purposes and for just morals, I would never have intercourse when I am on my period. It's a no-go zone. Most women are like that. However, it's not an issue if you do. Like, it's not going to affect your health. But hygiene, personally, I wouldn't do that. I never have, and I never will. But there you go. just letting that information out there. Obviously this information is for older people who perhaps are, you know, in relationships, are married, etc. Now if you are young, as I said, I feel that intercourse is something that you need to do when you're mature and you know what you're doing, and it's with the right person and it's with someone you love, and you don't let anyone take advantage of you. I personally believe in marriage as well, but let's be honest here, not everybody does. And there are different type of people who are going to watch this video. So I just wanted to let the younger viewers out there that it's not anybody you just rush into things like that with. And perhaps we'll do another video regarding that specifically. But pregnancy is something that can happen as a result of unprotected sex. If there is a month that you happen to miss your period, there may be a reason. It may be that you are obviously pregnant, and with that you'll have to take a pregnancy test and of course deal with the issue if you are. And you know, you need to work out family planning, how you're going to deal with all of that. So that's if you happen to miss your period, but hopefully you will never do that, okay? And another thing in regards to missing periods. Now, I've always had regular periods personally, and I know periods can be affected by so many things, whether it's anxiety and stress issues, which I just recently covered, or even if it's, you know, to do with maybe your ovaries. Something may not be specifically right. I know there's the subject of PCOS, and I've made a video and I mentioned PCOS, and I feel that people think that I have PCOS. I haven't got PCOS. I done a test. I done a blood test, and I also had the probe put into my vagina, and they scanned my ovaries, and it is cystless, literally. So I'm so sorry if you watched that video and you got the impression that I had PCOS, because I absolutely do not. I said in a video I may, or I think I thought I perhaps did, but I checked and I don't. So that is good for me. But I know that when you do have this issue, it can affect your periods. And again, I love to leave the comment section below open so people can advise and talk, because there's so much things I've picked up from what people have said in the comment section. So I know you guys will be able to pick that up and thumbs it up so everybody can see it, okay? In regards to menopause and the end of your period, so because believe it or not, it does become to a point in a woman's life where her periods absolutely stop. When you first get your period when you are young, you are viable to get pregnant, and this is why I said be careful and be cautious of what you're doing, because you don't want any unwanted pregnancies, if you know what I mean. And I don't mean it in a harsh way, but if you're not ready for it, if you're not in the stage of your life, it's definitely a bit of a struggle. So be cautious of that. But when you are older, there's an expiry. Oh yeah, your period expires if you don't know, and that's the menopause stage apparently. I may be wrong, but I'm definitely not there. Maybe in 20 plus years, I can come back and speak about that. But for all our older girls out there who watch me, maybe you want to talk to us a bit about that in the comment section as well. That'll be quite useful to hear. But that's it, guys. I hope you found this video useful. Stay safe and stay good and look after yourself, okay, ladies? And remember to take out the NHS Go app, all right? Thank you so much for watching, and you'll see me soon. Bye.